I want to officially welcome everybody to my show, Simple Healthy Living. I'm really excited to relaunch my show, geared towards what I feel like a lot of women would love to chat about, which is living healthy, creating your optimal health, having more energy, losing weight, dealing with maybe some things going on physically that we don't know how to combat. So decreasing stress, improving relationships, everything and anything that's going to help you feel your best. So that includes confidence and everything like that. So this show is going to incorporate a lot of different tips and advice on improving your health and dealing with challenges. And I would love to have anybody watching the live show as well as the recorded show, feel free to email me directly anytime and let me know what you would love me to talk about on the show so I can cater the show to you, to my viewers. So I'm going to go ahead and put my email address on here. It is just lightenupcoach@gmail.com. And you can email me anytime. And again, let me know what your own health challenges are or struggles or things you would love me to talk about. And so we're starting with today. Obviously, I think as springtime is coming and everybody's shedding the outer layer, kind of detoxing, getting prepped for swimsuit season, which I know we all do not like. We're going to shed some layers and we're going to talk about ways that you can just jumpstart some weight loss and also deal with some of the sugar cravings that we all deal with, cravings in general. So if you were watching the live show right now and you would like to chat with me, make sure you log in. You can use your Twitter name, Facebook name, or just come on as a guest. That way you can talk with me live throughout the show. And it's a little bit more interactive, which is what I love. So go ahead and do that. So we are going to start, though, with talking about weight loss. So I know, Patricia, you're watching right now. Tell me why this show specifically spoke to you or what it is you would love to get out of today's show. And I'm happy to kind of add a little bit of tidbit of information for you as well. But I'm going to start with some tips and go ahead and write these down. Perfect, Patricia. I'm glad you're here. And hopefully, like I said, you can join more often. Every show is going to be really insightful. So it'll be great to have you visit the show. We're going to talk about first the top 10 weight loss tips. So feel free to grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, jot these down. They're very simple and very helpful. And even just making a couple simple tweaks in your diet will do you wonders. Patricia, you want a detox tea. Actually, I have a lot of information on detoxing in terms of juices or teas and using different spices. So I would love to give that to you. You and I can chat after the show. I don't have the specific information right here in front of me, but I can definitely email that to you and we can chat. So you have my email address. Just send me an email and you and I will chat for sure after the show because there's a lot out there, information in terms of detoxing. And like I said, especially springtime is the perfect time to detox. There's so many different foods that you can eat that will just help cleanse you naturally. I'm a big proponent in using food as medicine. So not popping a pill, not doing anything like that, but using foods that we already have, that we grow, that your body loves, that will help you detox and start to shed the pounds. So first tip in terms of weight loss is drinking water. So how many of you drink a lot of water? And for women, we're supposed to drink an average of 9 cups a day. A lot of us are walking around dehydrated and we don't even know it. A lot of times your body, we hold on to toxins and fat and store things in our body that just isn't able to get out. We're not flushing it out. And water is able to do that. So our body thrives on water. So this alone, drinking this water and enough water, is going to help promote weight loss. A, it's going to keep you fuller longer. B, it's going to get rid of a lot of that stuff in your body. Again, a lot of toxins and waste that need to be flushed out. And so you're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. So Patricia, yes, I think most women get probably half that, if that. So if you ever get to the point that you're thirsty, that's your body's way of saying you're already dehydrated. So you're past the point of where you should be. So even doing something like I tell a lot of my clients in terms of filling up a jug of water in your fridge, putting it in there and making like some spa water, putting in some fresh lemon, some fresh lime, some orange slices, and just keep that jug in your fridge so you know by the end of the day that needs to be empty. So it'll give you kind of that incentive to keep pouring more or filling up, something that you can take with you while you're driving around, running errands. It just makes it a little bit easier. So make your own spa water and just drink it. Have a goal every day that you're going to drink that jug. And having a little flavor to it, I think, helps too. So that's the first tip, is just drinking enough water. You up your intake of water, you're going to start to lose some weight. Easy as that. The next one is to eat carbs. So I think there's so many different dietary theories out there, most of them that tell us no carbs. You shouldn't eat carbs. You're going to eat, pack on the weight if you eat carbs. Carbs are not your enemy. So we're talking about complex carbohydrates, not the simple carbs like, white bread and pasta and bagels and things like that. That is simple carbohydrates, which is exactly what you do not want. Those are kind of the refined carbs. So I'm talking about complex carbohydrates that you get from whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, legumes. Those are the complex carbohydrates. And again, they have a lot of fiber, and they're going to stabilize your blood sugar levels, so you're not kind of having your ups and downs and cravings and needing something and then having a crash. And so it's stabilized and it keeps you fuller longer. Again, whole grain carbohydrates. So get rid of the white flour, get rid of all of that, the white bread, the white flour, the sugar, all of that, and just start to kind of incorporate the whole grains, the complex carbohydrates. That is going to, again, keep you fuller, and it's going to help promote the weight loss. So the 2 tips so far is water, drinking enough water, as well as eating carbs, real carbs. Next one is to choose healthy fats. So a lot of us think that we just, we went through that whole crazy fad of no fat, no fat, no fat. Everything was fat-free and light and, lower fat. And that's not what you want, because I guarantee that they're substituting the fat with other things that are not natural, that your body does not want. So healthy fats. Again, fat we need in our body. We need fats to continue to grow, and it gives us energy. It's good for our hair, skin, nails, vitamin absorption, mineral absorption. So you need fat, but it's the good, healthy fats. Patricia, do you know what some of those would be? I'm going to quiz you here a little bit. But they also, in terms of healthy fats, think about nuts, think about seeds, think about fish. You're getting those healthy fats, omega-3 from fish. Avocados, exactly, Patricia, perfect. Avocados, as well as like extra virgin olive oil. You can also cook with coconut oil, which is really healthy. So try to get 1 teaspoon 4 times a day of these healthy fats. So again, have a teaspoon and sprinkle some olive oil, make your own salad dressing, put some avocado on a sandwich, grab a handful of nuts or seeds. So just think about ways you can incorporate the healthy fats into your diet every single day. These are all things that are going to help you start to promote weight loss. So think about that as well. The next is to emphasize lean protein. So our bodies require protein to continuously replenish our cells, stabilize our blood sugar, again, give us energy. And so you want lean protein. Protein, again, is building muscle, and muscle burns fat much more than fat does. So think about lean ways that you can incorporate protein into your diet. So, and again, think about if you're buying meat, whether it be beef or chicken, that you're doing the grass-fed meat, high quality. So you can also do eggs, yogurt for protein. But for those of you that are maybe vegetarians and don't eat that, think about tofu, think about tempeh, think about peanut butter. They're great vegan protein sources. But also, if none of you have heard of this, there's chia seeds and hemp seeds and flax seeds, which are really great sources, plant-based sources of protein that you can literally sprinkle on anything and you do not even taste them. Mix them in a smoothie, sprinkle them on yogurt, put them in a stew or a soup, sprinkle them on a salad. You honestly cannot taste them. They just blend in, and they're a great source of added protein for those of you that don't want to eat a lot of meat. So those are some great sources as well. Next is to eat breakfast. So Patricia, do you eat breakfast every morning? I think most of us probably don't, and we try to. We're running out the door. We think that, if we can save some of our calories for later on, it's going to be better. Eating breakfast is probably the most important. This is going to jumpstart your metabolism. It's going to, again, keep your blood sugar balanced so you're not getting to the point where you're starving and you're grumpy and you're moody and you're grabbing anything that's in front of you. And it's going to keep you from skipping and nibbling and snacking on meals. So breakfast is really important. And you know what, Patricia, I'm just like you. I'm not a big breakfast eater, but I have forced myself to eat something. And I do feel like it really kind of, A, gives me that energy. B, it just keeps me from snacking, a couple hours later, and it can tide me over to lunchtime. And it's so important. So if you're not super hungry, make yourself a protein shake. Make yourself something that you can just kind of grab and go, but at least you're getting something into your system. And again, you can put so many great things in protein shakes. Something quick too, an Egg McMuffin sandwich. Again, you want the protein and the healthy carbs and a little bit of fat on your plate, and it's going to sustain you. It's going to keep your blood sugar balanced, and you will notice that you're not hungry and you're not snacking. So we can chat about that more. I have a lot of tips, Patricia, and a lot of really great information that can help you jumpstart just your weight loss, and again, boosting your energy and getting you into a system that works for you. It's all about just starting to get into a routine. And once you start doing that, it's a little bit easier. So next is to eat more frequently. So I know you've probably heard of different things where, eat 5 little meals throughout the day, or, eat, at different regimented times. So you're never super hungry. And again, it's stabilizing your blood sugar, and you're not going to be snacking. So high quality meals. You can eat as much as you want in terms of fruit and vegetables throughout the day, as much as you want. So, have fruits and vegetables on hand. They're low calorie, they are full of fiber, they're going to fill you up, and you're not going to be snacking on the junk food. So think about that too, ways you can kind of prepare some snacks ahead of time for the week, have them ready to go, have them in your fridge so you can just grab them and go. Convenience is big. I think as women, as moms, we're so busy and we put ourselves last. And so the more you're prepared, the easier it's going to be to succeed. As basic as that. Okay, so another tip is to exercise. Obviously, exercise is going to be a tip on weight loss. So it's just, not only is it going to boost your mood, but it's just getting the blood flow. It's getting everything pumping, and it's going to burn the calories. So finding something that you enjoy, that you can do every day just to get you moving. A class, something at home, have a friend so you have the accountability, I think is big. So you got to move. We have to move. A lot of us, even just playing with your kids or parking far away so you're not so close to the store, just getting an extra, couple steps in, you know, getting one of those pedometers where you can measure how many steps you're getting every single day, and aim for 10,000 if you can. It's just going to push you to walk a little bit more, and you'd be amazed that the weight will start to fall off when you're moving, you know, and we are just moving. Next is to catch some Z's. So sleep is really important to weight loss, and you might not know that, but there's a lot of research that shows, you know, people that sleep 5 hours or less every single night weigh more than 5 pounds, the people that get 7 hours of sleep every single night. So over time, again, the sleep is a way to rejuvenate. Your body needs to rejuvenate and renew and refresh overnight. And so if you're not getting that, your body isn't getting what it needs in terms of kind of replenishing for the next day. So think about ways that you can kind of de-stress, kind of put your stuff in your mind out of your head when you go to bed so you're not thinking about everything. Also getting technology out of your room, not having your iPad and your phone and this and that right by your bed. That's a no-no. So thinking about ways that you can create like a calming nightly routine is always good. Learning to cook. So this is big. So as a holistic health coach, I work with individuals, especially women and moms, on restoring more balance in their lives. And we do that through talking about proper diet, nutrition, and lifestyle management. So cooking is really big. Like I said, using food as medicine, using whole food, not something out of a package, not something out of a box, not something in the fast food line, but something that you can cook at home where you know the ingredients and you know what's going into it. And learning to bake and learning to incorporate different fun vegetables or different things that you've never tried. That alone is going to help tremendously because you're in control of the food you put in your body. So cooking and learning to cook is going to help you kind of maintain some of that control versus going out and buying something which you have no idea what they're putting in it, really. So learning to cook and you're using different herbs and spices. Like I said earlier, there's so many different herbs, so many spices that really jumpstart your metabolism, that help with digestion, that help with so many different things that you can just start to incorporate in your cooking. So we can definitely talk about that. I'll probably get into that more in another show. And then lastly, number 10 is to keep track of what you eat. So Patricia, have you ever kept a food journal, or have you ever really been kind of a food detective in terms of what you're putting in your body and what makes you feel good and what doesn't make you feel good? This is the best way, at least, to kind of jumpstart. So you did in the past, yeah. I think it's really important now more than ever. There's so many different things in different foods, and so you have to be a detective. You really have to know what you're looking for. And yeah, Patricia, I'm a pretty good detective in terms of working with clients and figuring out what makes you feel bad, what's going to make you feel better, and kind of starting to get rid of and just kind of start to kind of take certain foods out and then slowly implement them back in. But kind of looking at what you eat. Most people eat the same thing every day. It's just a fact that we get kind of consistent with. We have the same breakfast, we have the same lunch, we just kind of get into a rut. And so it's pretty easy once you start to write everything down, what's working and what's not working. So that is kind of the last tip in terms of promoting and starting to promote weight loss. And once again, if you're watching a replay of this, you can rewatch it, you can write all the tips down and start to incorporate. Just start with a couple at a time. Don't feel like you have to do everything at once. Start with one tip, get really good at that, and then move on to the next one. So hopefully that helped you at least today in terms of just jump-starting your weight loss and starting to feel a little better as spring is upon us. Next, we're going to talk real briefly about cravings and just some of the causes of cravings, because we all have them. Good for you, Patricia. You're going to go make a jug of spa water. That's perfect. it really helps. It tastes better. You can see how much you drank every day, and so it just keeps you accountable for that. So 8 primary causes of cravings. Once again, feel free to jot these down. 1 is dehydration. Just like with weight loss and water, the body does not send the message that you're thirsty until you're dehydrated. And so dehydration does occur as a mild hunger. So the first thing that you need to do when you're having a craving or when you just feel like you need something is to drink a cup of water. Just drink a cup of water. A lot of times it'll take the craving away, or it will at least fill you up a little bit, so you're not going to eat as much. So that is the first cause of a craving. Next can be lifestyle. So being dissatisfied with a relationship, maybe in a not a great exercise routine, too much or too little or the wrong type. Maybe you're bored, you're stressed, uninspired by your job. So many different things in terms of lifestyle contribute to cravings that we don't even realize. So becoming more aware of when you're craving certain things, when you go eat certain things. Is it stress-induced? Is it behavioral? Is it because you're unfulfilled in a different area of your life? And so starting to think about that. The third tip is yin-yang balance. Imbalance, actually. So there are always certain foods that have more yin qualities and certain foods that have more yang qualities, okay? And eating foods that are extremely yin or extremely yang, you're going to crave the foods to help balance your system. Our bodies naturally are always going to try to come back to balance. Just like your temperature always stays the same, 98.7, your body is constantly working to keep your temperature that exact number. And when it goes off, your body does what it needs to do to bring it back down. So this is the same with certain foods. If you eat way too much sugar, the opposite of that is typically meat or something protein that you're going to crave after that. And so figuring out, again, what's imbalanced so that you can start to work on that. And I will talk a lot more in depth about this in future shows and again on different things I'm doing. So just kind of keep tuned in. Another cravings are your inside coming out, meaning sometimes we just crave certain foods from a childhood or certain foods that you've recently eaten. During the winter, maybe your mom used to always make homemade mac and cheese or homemade soups or something like that just gives you that cozy, warm feeling. And so you're eating certain foods just to kind of tap into that memory. So thinking about that, thinking about, again, what you're doing and why you're doing. Seasonal is another primary cause of craving. So your body is going to crave certain foods different times of year. Just like in the spring, as we're kind of detoxing, your body's going to crave detoxifying foods like leafy greens, citrus foods. In the summer, people crave cooling foods because we're so hot. So foods like fresh fruit, raw foods, ice cream, things like that. And then in the fall, you crave grounding foods, things that are going to ground you, like squash, onions, nuts. And so being aware of seasons, and that's okay to crave certain foods during different seasons. That's listening to your body and honoring that. Another craving or cause of a craving could be lack of nutrients. So if your body is getting an inadequate amount of nutrients, your body is going to produce odd cravings. Sometimes if you have inadequate mineral levels in your body, you're going to have salt cravings. You're going to crave salt. Sometimes too, if you have a lot of times, if you have certain hormonal changes going on, you're going to crave caffeine or something that's going to give you a quick boost of energy. So thinking about kind of that and starting to be a detective in your own body in terms of maybe what you're lacking. And that goes along with tip number 7. Another cause of craving obviously is hormonal. So when we're going through different periods, obviously more women, menstruation, pregnancy, menopause, your hormones are completely out of whack. So your body's trying to compensate, and you're going to crave different foods to kind of bring it back and restore that balance again. And then again, there's something called de-evolution, and this is when things are sometimes going really well in our life. We sometimes feel the need to sabotage ourselves, suddenly crave foods that throw us off balance. And this sometimes, again, it's just associated with, I think, just our internal need to constantly kind of balance ourselves, as well as having to work really hard to maintain that, when we get off kilt. So those are a couple of the primary causes of cravings. And I know I kept it very condensed today because it is a shorter show. But I just wanted to give you guys some good insight on today's first show. And like I said, a lot of you, I realize, are at work. So you're going to watch a replay of this, which is perfect. You can jot these down. You can pause the show. I do hope today was helpful. I'm excited for Simple Healthy Living to have more shows that are going to offer different tips, as well as different travel shows from different locations, live shows for people that want to incorporate just healthy, active living in terms of when you're traveling. So lots of fun. And I would love your questions. I would love your comments. I would also love for you to let me know what you would like me to talk about on future shows. So don't hesitate. I also have a special free gift for all of my Mom TV viewers. So even if you're watching a replay, you can take advantage of this. A free weight loss strategy coaching session, which is typically $100. I'm offering for free, where we get a chat on the phone or via Skype call and talk about ways to jumpstart your own weight loss, kind of see what's going on with you individually, and come up with some tips and some methods for you to start to embark on. So I'm offering that for anybody that wants to take advantage of that. All you have to do is email me. Let me know that you watched the show and you would like to set up your free session. Easy as that. So for those of you that are watching, my email is lighten. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat room, but if you're watching a replay, you won't see that. It's lightenupcoach, okay, at gmail.com. And you can also go to lightenupcoach.com, my website, and just click on the contact form there if you want to do it that way. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm really excited, like I said, to jumpstart this new show and to meet many of you all over the country, hear about what your own challenges are and struggles, and offer some tips for you and resources to help you move through them. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm excited to continue. Patricia, have a wonderful day. Go drink your spa water, and definitely email me, and you and I will set something up, and I'll give you some of that information on the detox tea, which will be great for you. So have a wonderful day, everybody, and I will see you next time on Simple